All right, we got the top 3 gold ones. Fresh pair of patent leather. Top 3 colorways in gold, white, and black. These shoes are special because, first of all, I swapped the laces on them, so I put some leather laces with a little bit of gold tip. Second of all, these sneakers first came out in LA in a sneaker show called Complex Con. Everybody was crazy over them. They were like resale value. They were worth like over $1,000. They were real limited. They weren't released in any stores. It was only in this sneaker show, sneaker convention.
My name is E, the OG. I run a small company called Sneaker Greet, where people come in, buy, sell, and trade sneakers, apparel, and art. I'm kind of an old head in the game when it comes to like kicks and stuff. Like growing up, we always wanted to have the freshest kicks in school and around the neighborhood. And like most people in my neighborhood, we couldn't really afford it, so we did anything we could to make it happen. In my building, there was a guy who used to do the paper route. I remember his name was Rob. He did the paper route, and I told him one day, I was like, yo, Rob, I'll do your paper route for you for all 3 buildings if you pay me half. You don't have to do anything. Just pay me half, and I'll do the whole paper route. My mom wasn't trying to buy me no fresh kicks, and back then A-Dogs was the shit. Like, you wanted some fresh Adidas shell toes, and I remember back then it was the all-white with the black snake skin stripes. I really wanted them, and they had them at Landlubbers. I did the paper routes every Sunday, and then Friday he would come, give me my cash, and I saved up to buy those sneakers.
Air Max 90, Off-White, collab with Virgil. It's basically a collab, Nike and Off-White. I did my own thing with the laces. I think it stands out more with the whole look of the shoe. I like the tongue on these, man. The whole tag on it. Like I said, I changed the colors.
We're here to support Edgar, who runs Sneaker Greet, the sneaker show that pretty much started it all in Boston. He's been supportive of us since day one, so every time he has a show, we come out and show support to him as well. It's a buy-sell trade event, and for us, it's a different way for us to meet, network, meet different people, network, get our name out there. We're still a growing business. Also to secure inventory and make sales. So you have 400, 500 kids, customers, right here presented to you daily. So I mean, it's a good networking spot. A lot of people meet other people. I think I met a lot of my close friends at sneaker events. Like it's just something we all share, like a love for.
I saw like Dunk Exchange used to come to Boston. Sneaker Pimps came to Boston, I think a little earlier than that, 9 and stuff like that. But then I was like, man, what's up with these cats coming into Boston and doing these shows? We should be doing them ourselves. My son at the time was like, yo, can you lend me some money to buy these kicks? And I'm gonna give you double back. He bought some pairs, and then he actually flipped 2 pairs, and then made some money and then gave it back to me. I was like, yo, this is crazy. He was like, I wanna go to New York and go to this show called SneakerCon. So I was like, all right, let's go. So we went, and then my eyes just blew up. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, mad vendors, people coming, mad sneakers, like it was all this stuff. And so I was like, you know what, we should come back to Boston and do this and make it happen. Reached out to some of my relationships in the sneaker culture. Joe Mill from Laced, we did a collaboration on a show where we brought DJ Clark Kent and Ronnie Feig, and we had Jammin' 94.5, the cats from Concepts, and it was crazy. We did at the Wonderland Ballroom. It was huge, and from there it just kind of grew, and we just had fun with it. And it was always a place for people to just be able to do the transaction in a safe environment. That was always our concept. We want to have people to be able to do a transaction in a safe environment, because cats was getting robbed or getting fakes or some bullshit that happens in the hood. So we always wanted to kind of have that in the forefront of what the concept was. And Sneaker Greet, if you think about it, sneakers and we're greeting each other, you know what I'm saying? So I made it one word and was like, yo, this is what we're gonna do.
You have people looking for all different things, and these are the type of events where you see random things, stuff from $50 to a couple thousand, and things in between. We got a good selection of all of that, and with this many vendors all in one spot, you have more opportunity to see different items.
A pair of Legion green foam posits. You catch all the little different colorations on them, you know what I'm saying? I like them because they go with my green and red on the logo, man. You can't beat it. Of course, I chose to wear the perfect sweater with it today. You know what I mean? Help me shine, help me stand out today. Phone posits, you can't wrinkle them, can't destroy them, man. Living lavish, anybody can live lavish. I know country people that live lavish. You know what I'm saying? They got horses. Horse costs 10 grand. He got 10 horses, you 100,000. That's lavish to me. So anybody can live lavish. You know what I mean? It's not just about having jewelry and all that stuff. It's just about your growth and yourself, man. You going to school, you grinding, that's lavish. Anybody can relate to that, you know? And everybody here, this is what's up and coming, all the young boys. These are the trendsetters. These are tell you what's good or not, you know what I mean? I could think it's good, but until I put it on the table and these kids grab it, I don't know what's good.
My name is D. Wells, the creator of Obsessive Sneaker Disorder. OSD started in 2007 as a little podcast that could, recording my first episode, but if I were to say it really began in 1979, watching my parents play tennis, dad wearing a pair of Rod Lavers, mom wearing a pair of Stan Smiths, and that's where it began for me. Those sneakers, those two colors, white and green, and it's just something that mesmerized me about those sneakers, man. Like, it was just so dope. And then fast forward when mom started getting into aerobics, and I picked up on sneakers being really important. You know, I didn't have the nice fresh kicks. They didn't buy me. I had Skippies. I had Tom McCann sneakers. But I convinced my mother to actually let me wear her Stan Smiths, and I beat them so badly she didn't want them back. So I got to keep them. And those sneakers made me feel different. They made me walk differently. They made me hold my head higher. And that began the obsession with sneakers.
What kind of influence has sneakers had on breakdancing culture?
That was one of our main topics in the industry of breaking. Sneakers, Pumas, Troops, Adidas, Shell Toes especially. That's all we lived for, was to rock with fashion from head to toe. And sneakers were our main priority. Once you walk into a spot, everybody's looking at your kicks like, yo, see those Converses he's wearing right there? Want them joints. So that's what we're all about. Definitely sneaker joints, the fashion world industry. Without sneakers, there's no fashion. You gotta have something on your feet that's gonna look fly with what you got on top, you know what I mean? Sneakers, to the point of the level of fashion, it actually made your feet look fly when you were top rocking, when you see your feet moving, you see the colors move with you and stuff. Yeah, sneaker, when it came down to fashion and dancing, that's where it was at, because the brighter your sneakers were, the iller your footwork looked. When you were top rocking or doing 6 steps or whatever moves you were doing, freezing, power moves, you could see the sneaker flares, especially when video guys are recording or cameramen, you see that sneaker had that flare going right through. You see that color brightness, of course. Oh yeah, sneakers were a part of the dance career, of course, when it came down to top rocking and footwork and stuff, for sure.
Sneakerhead, to me, is someone who really appreciates the culture, appreciates the, you know what I'm saying, having the freshest shoe. You know what I'm saying? Like a true sneakerhead is who goes out not just for the hype. Like, you like this shoe and it's fresh and it matches your outfit. You know what I'm saying? You wear it because it makes you feel good, because you know what I'm saying? Like, you're out with your peoples and everyone's like peeping your shoes, and you know what I'm saying? And it looks and feels good, you know what I'm saying? That's my version. Like, sneakerhead is someone who's always been like a purist in the game.
A sneakerhead is someone that is passionate about sneakers and the culture, that is always paying attention to what are on people's feet and the impact that it makes to the larger community at scale. Sneakers are ubiquitous. Sneakers tell a story. We are, as human beings, storytellers. And guess what? Sneakers are wearable pieces of art.
Today, what they'll consider sneakerhead is, I think, just like, if you're a young kid, it's more of a hype beast thing. It's like the newest collabs and stuff like that. But like us older cats, well, I'm old, but it's just, you know, going out and getting what you like. Especially like when you were young and you wasn't able to afford them J's or them sneakers that came out. As an adult, you would see them like, oh, I need those now. That's, to me, that's like a sneakerhead to me. Like, I don't know what everyone else would consider it. I get what I like. Don't get me wrong. I mess with the hype too, but I won't consider myself a hype beast. Certain sneakers I do go out and get, just like I know my man Swaggy go out and get. You know, maybe you go out and get, but it's just getting what you like. That's what I consider a sneakerhead. It doesn't mean how big your collection is. You can have 10, as long as it's the 10 sneakers that you want or you always wanted. That's what matters to me. That's what I would consider a sneakerhead.
To me, it's all different types of sneakerhead. It could be the poor, the middle class, the rich. And I appreciate people that earn it, as in having nothing and move up on. But if you have money too, I give them a little credit, not a lot of credit, because they can just buy anything they want. So they can buy all the shoes they want and hop in the game recent and say they're a sneakerhead. Because they have all the old shoes, but they bought all that, like, recent. So it's kind of like, you know, people might disagree and people might agree.
A sneakerhead's someone that loves shoes. Doesn't matter what shoe it is. If you love shoes, you're a sneakerhead. If you love one pair of shoes, you're a sneakerhead. I mean, there are people who have 1,000, there's people who have 3, and they love them the same way. So, I mean, some people are more extreme. I don't think anyone loves his shoes as much as DJ Khaled. I mean, he's probably the epitome of what we're talking about, or at least acts like it. But I don't know. I mean, it's a passion-driven business for myself. That's why we're different than most other places, because our business is driven by passion. We're quote unquote sneakerheads in the terms. But I mean, it's more than just sneakers. It's more of a culture now. You see these kids out here with Babe, Supreme, Off-White. It's a fashion, and it starts from the ground up. We all get dressed from the ground up. Since we were kids, I got dressed from the ground up. It didn't really matter what T-shirt, as long as it matched my J's or matched my Air Max. And I guess it's a passionate thing that you have to have passion for sneakers, you know? That's a sneakerhead.
My name's Dave. I came from China. I'm with the Vogue Lifestyle Boutique from Boston. We have a store, yeah, with good people. And I'm here to sell all my babes, and the other tables are selling the shoes. I just brought all my babes here. When you bring all the stuff in and you gather all the people around, like, people can feel the culture, feel all the differences, like sneakers and shit, all the babe stuff. I bring all the rare stuff that people can't see anywhere else. Like in Babe New York, they don't even have my product. It's better to see it in person than see it in the picture. I started buying Babe I think 6 years ago. Like, my first shark hoodie is like a purple shark hoodie like that. Took me like a week to think about it, because $450 for a shark hoodie is actually a lot for me. And after that, I just couldn't stop buying all the shark hoodies. Then I started collecting them. And after I graduated from college, I kind of feel like I can resell this to make some money. Then I started buying all those from different countries for a good price. And I bring all those different types of babes to America, show people what I have, and try to make some money.
What's up with this jacket right here? Tell them.
That's a Louis Vuitton Supreme Collab parka. Has like the fur in the back. That's what I bought at Boston Got Sold from a kid. Paid like $9,000 for it. The market price for it's like $11,000.
We got the Blue Tint Yeezys, size 10, and Travis Scott, size 10.5, and then some Kyrie 2 USA's, size 10.5. You know, it's a quick way to make some money, and you know, I was into it when I was younger, and it's a good way to spend the day. So, you know, nothing wrong with going to a couple events every once in a while. $320 on these, $540 these, and I'll sell these for like $50.
Dr. J was that first basketball player that I paid attention to, wearing Converse and what he did, you know, going to the rim and just causing havoc. Then when Michael Jordan hit the scene, like, this dude was doing things on the court that I'd never seen before. He was playing the game truly above the rim. And even though I could not, I knew I didn't look like him, I couldn't play as good as him, I still tried to mimic some of his moves on the court. So having a pair of Jordans, you know, the first pair of Jordans I ever had wore the Jordan 3s. I could never get the 1s, I didn't like the 2s, so the 3s for me were the introduction. I mean, right here in our backyard, you think about Boston, you think of one of the biggest groups that come out of Boston from R&B and hip hop, you think of New Edition, right? Guess what? All those dudes wore sneakers. If you look at any of their album covers, you'll see Nike, Adidas, and Converse.
The Vapor Max, the Aqua Bleach.
So you said those are the hottest kicks?
Man, these right here, these is fire.
In here today?
OD. These is OD right here. No, the hottest kick to me still is them Levi's, man. It's just the denim. The denim, the construction, the stitch. But just two major companies coming together and join as one. And then every sneaker dude wants this because everybody relates to wearing Levi's. Ain't nobody in here can say they never wear a pair of Levi's. You know what I mean? That's right, Levi's and Polo. But this company and Jordan would never go out of business together. That's hell, man.
I think they did a good job.
They did a hell of a job in this. The laces, the jacket, everything. I sell a product that people will always want, and I bag it up, man. This is the new work right here. Instead of getting high and messing up your mind, you get high with your feet. You can't say no to sneakers, man. I don't care if I'm at Eblin's, Foot Locker, wherever I go. If there's a sneaker in there, I'm buying it, because I know it's gonna sell. Sneakers, man. Grew up in Brooklyn. My grandma took us to Jew Man's when Air Force Ones first came out. They were $17.99. She worked at Woolworths. So in the middle aisle, they used to have the sneaker aisle. And the dude that owns Woolworths is his grandson, who eventually turned out to be F.L. Woolworths, the dude that bought Athlete's Foot that turned it into Foot Locker, Finish Line, Champs, Foot Action, East Bay. My grandmother got us hooked on sneakers. She always say, listen, a person when they meet you, they're not gonna look at your face, they're not gonna look at you what your hairdo is, they're gonna look at your feet and then work their way up. Always kept us fresh, man. From my first pair of Procas to PF Flyers to when I got my first pair of Air Force One from Jew Man. That's what it's always been, man.
I want to talk to you about sneakers. I'm working on a sneaker project. I would love to include this piece. The PF Flyers, everybody wanted those in school.
I wasn't even aware of them until the movie, really.
Yeah, I didn't know about them either. It was a rival to Converse. You know, New Balance just purchased the brand and rebranded them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're putting them back
Yeah,
out.
New Balance rebranded them, so that's why you see PF Flyers out on the shelves again.
They kind of look like those new Pumas too.
Yeah,
got the
a little
same
bit.
type of, sole and everything.
Yeah.
But shit, I'm from LA, man. They look like Chuck Taylors to me.
That's right.
Converse, as far as I was concerned.
Yeah.
Cool.
They have a Sandlot edition PF Flyer too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they do.
They made one with the
It's
box and everything.
20th anniversary. It's a special
It was dope.
20th anniversary edition. You go on like eBay or something, they sell for like $700-800. It's pretty.
Yeah.
PF Flyers actually renamed the traditional shoe or the classic shoe the Sandlot. The PF Flyers, I had never heard of them until the movie. And of course they're hyped up as the best shoe because of this, and they run faster, all that stuff. And I thought they just looked like Converse. So that's the worst thing to say. But I was like, what's the deal? In the Sandlot, there's that cult following that people grew up with them, and it's it might just be a regular old shoe, but it's to certain people it means something, and it's caught on, and I guess that's why they're bringing it back again.
PF Flyers was like, you either had a choice to get Converse, Procas, PF Flyers. If you were doing a little bit good, your parents or who your peoples bought you PF Flyers. But if you were balling, you got the Converse. But in my hood, everybody wanted PF Flyers because they were simple, but everybody had them, so nobody was doing better than nobody else. It's when I moved to Connecticut, dudes were wearing Procas with the 3 lines on the side. Now, PF Flyers say, you know what, fuck that. We're gonna sell the New Balance. New Balance bought it and never go broke for the rest of their life.
Sandlot, the movie, was iconic not only because it was, a rabble-rousing crew of young, kids playing sports, but also going through cultural, stuff all at the same time. When I saw the PF Flyers on their feet, I was like, come on, like PF Flyers were those sneakers that like my pops' friends wore because they wore, PF Flyers, they wore Jack Purcells, they wore Puma Clydes. So that movie, again, you think of like little defining moments within movies and culture. That was huge for PF Flyers to be, on the big screen.
OVO 10s are really important because you think about Drake, you think about the 10, but the thing that people don't realize, you have all the years, the defining moments of, Michael Jordan's career, but on the original 10, has a piece, on the steel gray ones, has a toe piece cap that Michael Jordan always said, I never want something over my toe, which is crazy because when you think about the 1, you think about the 6s, you think about the 13, the 10s, which he had come out of retirement the first time. Tinker put a toe cap piece on it, and he didn't like it. But by the time Michael Jordan had already said that, hey, I don't like it, they had already made probably about 50,000 plus pairs of them. So, go figure.
What's the coolest thing you got here?
Probably these. One of my most least expensive pairs on the table. It's just, this is classic.
Classic. Keyword classic.
Or these. We've been having this debate all day. I'm going to invite Swaggy to a debate we're going to do on these. We don't know. These are like probably the most 2 iconic Jordan shoes by looking at it. You know that's a Jordan. They're not the most expensive, but just as sought after as anything like a Just Dawn or a Bin or anything that's expensive. These are iconic Jordans. Everybody knows this, and the shoe's coming out for the free throw line. This is the free throw line Jordan. This is the one everybody says the most comfortable, they love the most. But this isn't ready. You can't have this one without this one. This is what started it all. So it's a debate that will go on, the chicken and the egg to me. This is the debate of Jordan.
Sneakers have just been always an important piece of my life. I'm gonna be that old cat. It's always gonna have fresh kicks on. I've amassed a lot of sneakers, but more importantly, every pair of sneakers has a story connected to them that is important. We would cut pictures out of magazines and I'd mail them to family stateside, to my aunts and uncles in New York, in Chicago. And like, I need these sneakers.